We welcome you to another episode of Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. This week brings exactly what the boys track and field teams in McKinney ISD have been working for all season long. It's the UIL State Championship, and all three schools in MISD will be on hand. McKinney High has a long jumper who wants to put another gold medal around his neck, and Coach Francis Jones is here to look back on Adam Grant's journey to Austin. Boyd also sending a long jumper to state at the 5A level, and in addition to that, Coach Brad Patterson is celebrating a district championship won by his whole team. So is North coach Matt Bilyeu, and his Bulldogs have lofty goals this weekend. It's hard to blame them after what they accomplished at the regional meet. Also coming up, the Dennis Baker State Farm Scholar Athlete of the Week on Sports Talk. Lions will be represented at the Class 4A state meet coming up this week, and Coach Francis Jones is with us now. Francis, we'll get to your championship long jumper here in just a moment, but first, wanted to touch on your team. A 5th place finish in a very deep district, 10th at regionals. As this season winds down, what will you remember about this team?
Well, we had a chance to, finish, top 3. That's what I was shooting for. You always shoot to be at the very top. I'm realistic in a sense that I feel that if my kids get out and compete, then anything can happen. And about halfway through the meet, everything was looking great. We can sneak up and get points here and points there. And if something bad happens at the wrong time for different people, then obviously that's when it happens. But if something catastrophic would happen, someone dropped the baton or what have you, and we're recipient of that, then we can move up. Not that I ever hope that somebody have something bad happen, but it happens. It happens. Some expectations were high that we'd do well and we'd get a lot of kids out.
Adam Grant, one of many who went out, and in fact, he'll be there in Austin coming up this week. He's looking for the trifecta. He won the district championship, the regional championship, and the long jump. He'll also be competing in the triple jump at state. But in the long jump, what's it going to take to claim a state championship in that event to add to his other gold medals?
Well, Coach Ware and I was talking about that, and I said, there's only one guy jumping 24 foot. And I said, and if you have a 24-foot jumper, then you got a chance to figure in the money. He's been 23-1, and we had a video of him jumping. Coach Ware sent me this morning, and he looks effortless. But I think 24-foot would get him, at the top of the podium.
Did you think that Adam would burst on the scene like this, have this kind of season here in his senior year?
Well, Coach Ware does a great job with those kids. He has a great rapport with them. I don't bother him. I mean, I don't even watch the event. I told him before, I said, if I want to coach the jumpers, then I'd be coaching them. But he does a great job with them. They work out every day, and he does a great job with all the kids that are jumping. But, he's always said Adam's going to be pretty good. Adam's going to be pretty good. I said, well, then cream rises to the top. And he had a great year last year on top of that. So he has something to build on.
Adam, not the only Lion to wear gold here this season. Justin Woolshed winning a district championship in the 200 meters. What do you like about Justin here in his sophomore season?
Well, during the fall semester when all those other kids are playing football, Justin's in track the whole time. And he had a tough fall semester where it sent him home, nearly passed out on a daily basis, but he put his time in. And we kind of surprised some people because we didn't run him in a 200 at all, so they never got a chance to see him. He was always on a relay, so we kind of, not necessarily hiding kids, but just trying to wait for our turn. And the district worked out pretty well. I knew he would run well. Obviously, I didn't anticipate him running that fast. I mean, because he's run 21.9 on the sprint, on the 4x2 relay. So I know he could run. I knew he could run 21s, but I think he surprised a lot more people.
Justin, like you mentioned in the 4x2 relay, he was a key member of 2 out of your 3 relays that placed 4th or higher at district. What did you see from your relays overall this season?
First of all, the sprint relay was a stretch because we had a lot of teams with the Wally schools and then with North and with Pierce that had all run faster times. So, going in, I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can get 4th in the sprint relay. But in relays, you got to get that little baton around the track. It takes a miracle sometimes to get around. And I'm thinking, I said, if somebody have a mishap, then we can be right in the thick of it. 4x2, I thought we'd have done better in it. We drew lane 1, and that's kind of a killer when you're in that particular lane. But, you know, everybody got to run. I thought we'd do better in that race. I wasn't disappointed in it, but I thought we'd finish in the money in the 4x2. I really did. 4x4, I knew we could get third. I said we could run. I thought we had the ability to run about 325, 324. So we got that relay out. I thought we can get 2 of the 3. I was hoping for 3, but you know, I didn't want to be greedy. But yeah, I know what we have. I know we have kid-wise and what we have a chance to be good at.
And Dante C. was on that 4x4 relay that placed 3rd district. Individually, he was 4th in the 400 meters. What did Dante give you this season?
Excellent job of leading off the relay. 4x4, the leadoff guy is crucial. Just getting us out, making sure we win the race. And then I don't know if he knows the significance of being leadoff. I mean, he's always one. He runs it. He don't complain about it. You know, he's his own person.
There's so much talk about being the anchor, but the leadoff position in track's premier event is just as important, if not more important.
Way more pressure on the leadoff than it is for the anchor. The anchor kind of get 3 legs to see what's going on. The leadoff person has to get out and run well, not knowing what those other 3 guys are going to do. He has to put his part in, and whether we're having a good day or a bad day, the leadoff guy kind of sets the tone for what's taking place.
And Dante did a great job of doing that.
He did a great job.
In the hurdling events, you had 2 athletes place in the top 5 at district. DQ McGee was 5th in the 110-meter hurdles. We saw DQ as a contributor on Wes Watson's basketball team. What did DQ do for you here in the track season?
Well, it's a chance that we got to, you know, talking to Coach Davis, just trying to get him committed to us a little bit more. Awesome talent. He needs more meets. He needs more practice time. Not taking away from what he does in basketball. I think he does a pretty good job for him. But when basketball is over, then commit to, and I've told him, commit here, I mean, you're going to surprise the daylights out of yourself. And I think he did a little bit better. I mean, he has some knee issues and this and that, but overall he's a talent, but he has to figure out what he's going to commit. And when he puts his time in, then we'll have a guy that can go to regionals and maybe have a chance to go to state in those 110 hurdles, because we've never gotten a guy there in that race.
Meanwhile, J.J. Johnson 3rd in the 300-meter hurdles. We see J.J. as a starting cornerback in the fall for Jeff Smith's football team. Again, it's the tale of the multi-sport athlete, and it's something you have to manage quite a bit in track. It's a great benefit for the athlete, the fact that they get to enjoy all these experiences one season to the next. But there has to be an understanding between coaches. Hey, I'll get this kid here, you get this kid there, and sometimes you have to manage some things there.
Well, JJ is an entirely different animal. With JJ, and athletic-wise, he has it. He came out and worked a lot better, but it's him taking care of his business. Yeah, you're a talent. You can play football, you can run, you can do those things there, but as long as he's taking care of his business, then he's going to be fine. He ran well. In the past, we've had some trouble when we're in the thick of the race, not having that confidence to stay in and battle through it. In terms of being just the most impressive kid this year, he kind of starts to do that because we know we have the talent, but then we're trying to search to do we have the heart to go out and compete. And after we had some, some valleys that we kind of dipped down in, by the time we got ready for district and regionals, he started to show his colors in the sense that he's been positive and he's actually working hard and he's competing, because a lot of kids that tend not to want to compete when they get in a race where everybody's just as fast as them. And we had some issues with that, not just him, but a lot of other kids. But this year he tended to rise above that, and not think that he can't run with the guys that are there.
Kevin Stites was 3rd place in the pole vault in the field for you this season, Francis. What stood out about Kevin's performance?
Well, he had to overcome his coaching, and that was me. I told him that day one, so you have to overcome the guy that's coaching you, because I've never been on a pole. I've coached it, but I'm not going up on one. But he worked hard every day. And we had some issues with getting on poles and can this pole work for us. We had a lot of things but we're kind of a learning curve is huge for us. District-wise, we surprised people. I don't think we surprised ourselves more so because we saw what we were doing in workout. We just kind of hope it all comes together. But district was pleasant because we caught some people by surprise. A lot of people by surprise. People counting points. And, coaches count points. Well, if I get this point and this point, and I told them, I said, we'll come in at 12, and then we'll skip to 13. If we make those two heights, then everybody else has the pressure. And we cleared 12. He missed 13 on the first attempt, and then he got over it. And then a lot of kids went out, and then we just have to wait because we don't have all the misses. And, you know, I was tickled to death, needless to say, because he was fired up. He was just trying to get fourth, and I'm thinking, man, we're trying to go to regionals, not qualify for one more week. So, but it worked out great, and we're still working. We hadn't given up, and we're trying to get to next year.
You mentioned overcoming your coaching in that event. Mm-hmm. What's the biggest challenge of coaching an event that you have never done yourself?
In a sense that's a tough one. Here's what we've done early. We're trying to figure out when I can work the sprinters, work the pole vault, and then work the sprinters again. And I was trying to do it all at one time. And it's no way to watch a guy working on pole vault because it's so time consuming. And the sprinters going, so we're jockeying the times and getting it to work. And so then once we figure that time period out and how we're going to get it worked, and then coming over, I can hold the camera and I can tell him what he's doing and tell him what it should look like. And then once he started getting that mental picture of what's taking place, because I said, I'm not going up on one. I'm not. I'll hold it and bend it, but I'm not going up. So you've vaulted enough, and you've been around enough people that's vaulted that you should have some insight as to what's going on. So we videoed a lot of different things so that he can actually see it, because I can't demonstrate it, but I've seen people do it, and I've had kids do it before. So I was more into getting the drills together as opposed to just going out there and vaulting every day, because you only have 6 or 7 vaults you can get in anyway. The rest of the time you're trying to do drills to, you know, to rehash some of those things that you've done that was positive.
Francis, what's the next step for this program as it enters not only a new district but a new classification, moving up to Class 5A?
Well, honestly, track-wise, we run against the 5A schools week in and week out, so it's not as big a jump for us, per se. Depth will hurt because they got way more kids to choose from other schools. Top end is just top end. You know, we may have 4 kids that can run pretty well, then the other schools may have, you know, 8 kids. But when you get to district and beyond, then we're all the same. You know, take that with a grain of salt. The other meets going up to it, I mean, they'll outnumber us, plain and simple. But we've been there before, and the bottom line is, you know, take care of what we can take care of, and that's getting our relays around the track, making sure we work our jumps and throws and those things there, and just go from there. I'm not real concerned about it.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on this season. Best of luck moving forward.
Thanks a lot.
Francis Jones, head coach of the McKinney Lions. Adam Grant heading to Austin this week, along with Coach Jones. Adam Grant aiming for a state championship in both the long jump and the triple jump.